The WTF Theory, a look at years starting with Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For those who believe in patterns, the WTF Theory posits that years beginning on Wednesday, W, Thursday, T, or Friday, F, bring significant global events, often catastrophic. As 2025, another year starting on a Wednesday, approaches, many wonder if it will follow the same tumultuous pattern. Here are 10 notable years that started on Wednesdays and their significant events, showing both their challenges and triumphs. Number 1. 2020, Pandemic Unleashed. The year 2020, beginning on a Wednesday, became synonymous with the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the most significant global crises in modern history. The novel coronavirus, first detected in Wuhan, China, in December 2019, rapidly spread worldwide, with the World Health Organization, WHO, declaring a pandemic on March 11, 2020. Within months, international travel ceased, cities went into lockdown, and economies plunged into recession. By the end of the year, over 80 million cases were reported globally, with deaths surpassing 1.8 million, figures that would rise to over 6 million fatalities by 2023. Healthcare systems were overwhelmed, with field hospitals erected in parks and stadiums. The year also marked an extraordinary scientific effort, with the development of vaccines at record speed. On December 8, 2020, the UK administered the first Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, followed by global rollouts. "It's a beacon of hope," stated Dr. Anthony Fauci. Yet, 2020 wasn't solely defined by tragedy. Lockdowns led to environmental improvements. India's Himalayas became visible from 200 kilometers away due to reduced air pollution. From despair to resilience, the year 2020 reshaped how the world responds to crises. Number 2. 1975, the Vietnam War ends. The year 1975, beginning on a Wednesday, marked the dramatic conclusion of the Vietnam War, a conflict that had defined U.S. foreign policy and polarized public opinion for over 2 decades. On April 30, the fall of Saigon symbolized the victory of North Vietnamese forces over South Vietnam, effectively uniting the country under communist rule. Iconic images of the largest helicopter evacuation in history, known as Operation Frequent Wind, captured the desperation as U.S. personnel and South Vietnamese allies scrambled to escape. Over 7,000 people were airlifted in a race against time. Beyond the battlefield, 1975 brought significant diplomatic milestones. The Helsinki Accords, signed on August 1, aimed to improve East-West relations and human rights during the Cold War. The year also featured remarkable cooperation between the US and the Soviet Union with the Apollo-Soyuz test project, where astronauts and cosmonauts conducted joint experiments in orbit. This momentous year prompts a poignant question: could the ongoing war in Ukraine, with its similarly entrenched geopolitical tensions, find an abrupt conclusion like Vietnam in 1975? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 3. 1997, the death of Princess Diana. Beginning on a Wednesday, 1997 became an unforgettable year due to the tragic death of Princess Diana on August 31. The car crash in Paris, which also killed her companion Dodi Fayed and driver Henri Paul, sparked global grief. Diana's humanitarian work, including her campaigns against landmines and her advocacy for AIDS awareness, had earned her the nickname, the People's Princess. Over 2.5 billion people watched her funeral on September 6, during which Elton John performed a reworked version of Candle in the Wind. Despite this tragedy, 1997 saw progress in global cooperation. On December 11, the Kyoto Protocol was signed, committing nations to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, a critical step in addressing climate change. The juxtaposition of personal loss and global commitment defined the year as one of sorrow and hope. Number 4. 1986, Chernobyl and technological progress. The year 1986, which began on a Wednesday, is remembered for the catastrophic Chernobyl nuclear disaster on April 26. A reactor explosion at the plant in Pripyat, Ukraine, released radioactive material across Europe. The Soviet government's delayed response worsened the crisis, and over 350,000 people were displaced. Long-term effects included heightened cancer rates and uninhabitable zones around the plant, many of which remain off-limits decades later. However, 1986 was also a year of technological innovation. Pixar debuted its first computer-animated short film, Luxo Jr., showcasing the potential of CGI. In cybersecurity, Bernd Fix created the first antivirus software, addressing the growing threat of computer viruses. These events highlighted humanity's capacity for both error and innovation. How do you view the balance between technological progress and the risks it can bring? Are humanity's safeguards against disasters sufficient? Share your perspective in the comments. Number 5. 1919, Treaty of Versailles and Social Reforms. The year 1919, beginning on a Wednesday, was pivotal in shaping the 20th century. The Treaty of Versailles, signed on June 28, ended World War I but imposed harsh reparations on Germany, sowing resentment that would lead to World War II. Meanwhile, the U.S. Senate passed the 19th Amendment on June 4, granting women the right to vote, marking a milestone in social progress. Internationally, the League of Nations was founded on January 10 as an ambitious effort to prevent future wars. These developments reflected the year's mix of resolution, reform, and unresolved tensions. Number 6. 1969, the Moon Landing and Cultural Shifts. The year 1969, beginning on a Wednesday, was a landmark in human history. On July 20, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on the moon during the Apollo 11 mission. Armstrong's words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," echoed worldwide, symbolizing the culmination of the US-Soviet space race. The mission, involving over 400,000 engineers, technicians, and scientists, exemplified human ingenuity. On Earth, the Woodstock Music Festival, held from August 15 to 18, attracted over 400,000 attendees. It became a defining moment for the counterculture movement, promoting peace and unity in an era marked by civil rights struggles and the Vietnam War. These events reflected humanity's simultaneous aspiration for the stars and efforts to address societal divides. Number 7. 1959, the Cuban Revolution and U.S. expansion. Starting on a Wednesday, 1959 reshaped geopolitics with the Cuban Revolution's success on January 1. Fidel Castro's forces ousted dictator Fulgencio Batista, establishing Cuba as a communist state and intensifying Cold War tensions. Meanwhile, the United States expanded its territory with the admission of Alaska, January 3, and Hawaii, August 21, as the 49th and 50th states. Technological advancements also defined 1959. Jack Kilby and Robert Noyce independently invented the microchip, revolutionizing electronics and paving the way for the computer age. These events underscored the year's transformative impact on politics, geography, and technology. Number 8. 1931, the Great Depression and Global Milestones. The year 1931, beginning on a Wednesday, was marked by the devastating effects of the Great Depression. In the United States, unemployment soared to 15.9%, and shantytowns known as Hoovervilles sprang up. Despite the hardships, public works projects like the Hoover Dam, begun this year, provided thousands of jobs and symbolized hope. Globally, New Delhi was inaugurated as India's capital on February 13, blending Mughal and British architectural traditions. Meanwhile, in science, Albert Einstein's Nobel Prize for Physics recognized his groundbreaking contributions to quantum mechanics, highlighting the enduring pursuit of knowledge during challenging times. Number 9. 2014, the Ebola outbreak and cosmic achievements. The year 2014, which started on a Wednesday, was marked by the deadliest Ebola outbreak in history, centered in Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. The outbreak, officially declared by WHO in March, infected over 28,000 people and claimed 11,325 lives by its conclusion in 2016. Entire villages were quarantined, with health workers facing dire shortages of protective gear. Experimental treatments like ZMapp were rushed into use, while international organizations mobilized to contain the virus. Amid the health crisis, 2014 also brought extraordinary achievements in space exploration. On November 12, the European Space Agency's Rosetta mission landed the Philae probe on Comet 67P/Churyumov-Gerasimenko. This marked the first soft landing on a comet, offering unprecedented insights into the origins of the solar system. This is a milestone in space exploration, said ESA scientists. The year reflected humanity's resilience and ambition, juxtaposing global health challenges with cosmic triumphs. Number 10. 1903, Flight and Innovation. The year 1903, which began on a Wednesday, was a turning point in technological history. On December 17, the Wright brothers achieved the first powered flight in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Their 12-second, 120-foot flight revolutionized transportation and inspired future innovations in aviation. In the same year, Henry Ford founded the Ford Motor Company on June 16, pioneering assembly line production that made automobiles affordable for the masses. These groundbreaking achievements set the stage for the transformative 20th century, defining 1903 as a year of invention and progress.